Oh, yes. Welcome to what is today's day 3? Welcome to
Day
day
three.
3. Wow.
That was fancy.
Aggressive of the confidence climb. We are here to climb to the top of Confidence Mountain. And each day, if this is your first day, each day we're going over a different tool or strategy or concept or principle or perspective that you can use to continue to build your confidence.
Yes.
And today
we're going to be talking about this thing that's called your fears and how to overcome your fears.
Oh, shit. I got to read it.
So, real quick, today's almost like a buildup from yesterday, because yesterday we talked about overcoming procrastination. And a lot of times when we procrastinate, it's because there's either an uncertainty about something or a fear about something. And I want to know from you guys, happy Friday. Good morning. It is so great to see you here. Have you ever stopped from taking action or doing the thing that you know you should have done because you experienced fear?
Yep.
If so, go ahead and drop a yes in the chat. I feel like for us, it was like this morning.
Yes. We stopped. We didn't do something because we were afraid.
No, like we did it anyways.
We were afraid, but it didn't stop us.
It didn't stop us, but we experienced that fear.
Fear no longer stops us, but it used to. Okay, duh. Yes, definitely. Yep. Okay, I always have to read this when it comes to fear because it is so powerful. You guys, this is going to be the greatest 90 to 120 seconds of your life. Because every single time I think about fear, someday I'm going to memorize this. First of all, I think it's page 55 because I read it.
Okay, so real quick, you got it? Okay,
yeah,
go for it.
Okay, listen. By the way, Napoleon Hill, The Power of Positive Action. I can drop a link in the chat in a minute. But this is so perfect. If you have been stopped by fear, and this is something that recently or still happens to you in this day, then this is going to empower you so hard. Okay. Fear is the greatest single obstacle to success. Too often, people let fear rule all their decisions and actions. Their every yearning is for a sort of overall protection summed up in the catch-all cliche of security. The truly successful person doesn't think in these terms. The successful person's reasoning is based on creativeness and productivity. As former President Eisenhower said, one can attain a high degree of security in a prison cell if that's all he wants out of life. The successful person is the one who is willing to take risks when sound logic shows that they are necessary to reach the desired goal.
This is so powerful.
If you want to reach your desired goal, it is necessary to take certain risks. You will not get there without taking risks. Okay, but how do we do that? All of us suffer from fear. What is it? Fear is an emotion intended to help preserve our lives by warning us of danger. Hence, fear can be a blessing when it raises its flag of caution so that we pause and study a situation before making a decision or taking an action. We must control fear rather than permitting it to control us. Once it has served its emotional I'm going to read this twice. Once it has served its emotional purpose as a warning signal, we must not permit it to enter the logical reasoning by which we decide upon a course of action. Once it has served its emotional purpose as a warning sign, that's all fear is a warning sign. And a warning doesn't mean don't do it. It's a warning. Okay. We must not permit it to enter the logical reasoning by which we decide upon basically what we're going to do. U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's famous words, "We have nothing to fear but fear itself," are as applicable now and at any time as when he uttered them during the Depression. How can you overcome your fears? First of all, by looking at them full in the face, by consciously saying, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. And then ask yourself, of what? I love that part. Ask yourself of what? Because usually it's something you just made up in your mind.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
As you're hearing Erin read this, I want you to take a second to recognize, what is the one thing that you fear the most? What is the one thing that you fear the most? Okay, go for it.
Okay, so with that one question of what am I afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
With that one question, you've begun analyzing the situation facing you. You are on the road of reason that will carry you around the emotional obstacle of fear. The next step is to consider the problem from every facet. What are the risks? Okay, this part's powerful. Is the expected reward worth taking the risk? Is the thing that you want on the other side of the risk worth the potential consequences that you're afraid of? What are the other possible courses of action? What unexpected problems are likely to be encountered? Do you have all the necessary data, statistics, and facts at hand? What have others done in similar situations, and what were their results? Once you have completed your study, take action immediately. Take action immediately. Once you know, hey, here's what could potentially go wrong. I'll give you a very basic scenario. When somebody wants to join one of our programs, but it's kind of a lot of money for them, they're like, no, because I'm afraid I'll fail and then I won't follow through and then I'll waste money. Right? So the expected, what problems are likely to be encountered are not following through, wasting money. Okay. What's the expected reward if you do the thing? And is the potential of you getting that reward worth you taking the risk of potentially losing money or falling short again? It's only a decision for you to make. But once you have the data, take action immediately. Don't just sit on it. Okay, procrastination only leads to more doubt and fear. You know why I think a lot of people don't do the things that would literally free them in life? Is because you take too long to take action, because you're scared. You're scared. I don't know what's going to happen. I might lose money. I might not follow through. Whatever it is, you decide to shrink into your comfort zone, and then you have 0% chance of reaching the goal that you want. I always like to use the analogy of a blackjack table. If you go to, I'm not a huge gambler, so I don't really know. I think this just is a concept people can understand. If you go to a blackjack table, and at one table, there's a big sign above that table that's like, you have a 0% chance of winning any money at this table. Okay. And then you have another one that's right next to it. And there's a big neon sign above that one that says, you have a 5% chance of winning at this one. And you've got to choose one. Which one are you going to choose? 5% is shitty, but it's better than 0. I know what I'm choosing. Right? So a lot of times this is what we're up against, but we think that the 0% is like, or we think that the potential downsides of us taking that risk are like life-threatening. Mm-hmm. When maybe we're talking about money. Okay, money's important, cool, but guess what? It can be regenerated. Guess what? If you fail, you can learn from it and you can try again. Cool, but I'd rather have 5% than 0%, so I'm going to take the risk. If the worst thing that happens is not really the worst thing. Okay. Anywho, procrastination only leads to more doubt and fear. I'm almost done. A noted psychologist once said that a woman alone at night, imagining she hears noises, can settle her fears quickly. All she has to do is put one foot on the floor. In doing so, she has taken the first step on a positive course of action towards overcoming her fear. People seeking success must force themselves into the same way to control their fear by taking the first step towards their goal. You have to force yourself to take the first step. Once you take the first step, the next one's not as hard.
So true. And
remember that no one walks the road of life alone. One one of the most consoling and truest assurances given us is found in the Bible. Fear not, I am with you always. Faith in those words will give you spiritual strength to meet any situation.
Fear not, I am with you always. And what I want to build on top of that is, it is so related to your ability to overcome your fears has a lot to do with your perspective. Because on the other side of fear, there is faith. And faith and fear do not live in the same room. And ultimately, the only way for you to become more confident, day one, we asked you, like, what is that next thing for you? And, between where you're at and where you want to be, you're going to have to confront your fears to some degree. And normally, like the bigger the jump, the more fear you're going to face. That's just the reality. And when you are letting your fear stop you, what you're actually doing is you are denying faith from walking into the room. And this is exactly why, like, if you look at most people in society, they live a comfortable life. And as life goes by, they become slightly less comfortable and slightly less comfortable. And, then life ends. There's no big highs, there's no big lows. Sometimes maybe there's big lows to where they feel helpless. But, before every higher high, there is a low that comes with it. And because people are scared of confronting those lows, they never actually get to those highs. So if you want to build more confidence, you have to be able to confront your fears to some degree. And I believe that, every fear that we confront is a stepping stone to us confronting the next fear. Now, if we stay in our comfort zone, then we're going to continue staying in the same place. For example, with regards to your weight, maybe between where you currently are and where you want to go next, maybe, limiting the number of beers that you have on the weekend is that next thing that you got to do. And maybe you've gotten yourself to a point where you're like, okay, well, I've cleaned up my eating and I'm good with that. But now it's like, okay, you've got to confront this next thing. For those of you guys who have been with us with regards to your body transformation, it's like, that at the beginning of your journey, there were more things that you're ready to confront than others. And normally, the higher you want to climb with regards to any journey, the more you're going to need to confront. So what is that thing that you need to confront right now? Because that's what today is all about. And I want to share with you, we were in an event not too long ago, and we heard this stat. And when I heard it, it blew my mind. You guys, 97% of human error is made out of emotion. Take a moment to let that sink in. 97% of human error is made out of emotion. So if you're letting fear debilitate you, then think how much of your potential you're literally like wasting away because fear has a grip on you. Your life is a byproduct of the decisions that you've made up till now. Your life next year is going to be a byproduct of the decisions that you've made up till now, plus all of the decisions that you will make between now and the next year. And the higher you want to achieve, guess what? The more uncomfortable it's going to be, the scarier it's going to be. But this is why it's all about, you learning and building the skills. Because like we always say, like with regards to body transformation, it's not about the weight that you lose. but rather it's about who you become in the process. The problems never go away. I think a lot of people think that, when they arrive at such and such place, whether it's with their weight, whether it's with their marriage, whether it's with their career, their finances, they think that the problems go away. The problems do not go away. The problems actually magnify. The leaner you want to get, the more you're going to have to put on the line. That's just the reality of it. There's no way to eating donuts 7 days a week and looking jacked. I'll tell you that. There's no way to eating, donuts every single day for breakfast and being healthy. I don't care if it says keto. I don't care if it says paleo. I don't care if it says vegan. It just is, So to get to that next place, whatever that looks like for you, the more you're going to need to confront. And I don't know what inspired you to want to join this event. This is the time for you to let that sink in and ask yourself, like, what was your why for joining this confidence climb? Like, what do you feel like is either currently missing in your life or where you currently are? And where is it that you want to go? And where is the gap? Let's confront the gap.
You know what I thought about?
What?
I was very deep in thought in the last 2 minutes. Fear serves a purpose. Otherwise, we wouldn't have it. Now, fear is a warning sign, but danger is different. And I think that a lot of times we mistake fear for danger. Or we turn fear into danger. And they're two different things. Danger is life-threatening. If you are in the woods and you see a black bear 20 feet in front of you, that's danger. And you fear for your life. It's a life threat. Right? You following? You don't have to think twice to try to get the fuck away from the bear. Or I guess actually what you're supposed to do is like look big and like scary and intimidating. But let's say it's not a bear. Let's say the thing is like you try to run from it, right? Your natural instinct when your life is in danger is to take action. Immediate. If your kid runs into the street and you see a Dodge, no pun intended, coming 35 miles an hour, you don't have to think twice. You will go tackle the shit out of your kid over onto the other sidewalk. Like you will superwoman yourself, boom, and you will get your kid out of the way of that truck. You don't have to think twice because that danger, that life threat causes you to take action immediately. So a good question to ask yourself is, what do you fear more? Staying where you are and the potential consequences of that, or taking action with the potential risk of failure, losing money, making a mistake, looking stupid, being judged, whatever the other thing is that you fear in order to get what you want. So what do you fear more that will cause you to take immediate action without having to think twice about it? If you think about the worst thing that could happen, if you don't free yourself, if you don't act authentically, if you stay hidden, if you stay unhealthy, if you continue to look at yourself in the mirror and be absolutely disgusted with what you see, if you always say no to social situations and feel like you have no freedom to live your life because you're the fat friend or you're going to be the one that can't keep up and people have to wait for you on a hike, so you'd rather just say no, what do you fear more? That? Or whatever the risks are associated with you going a direction that will free you? It's a good question to ask.
Yeah, I would love to know from you guys, what do you fear the most? What do you fear the most? So actually, I want to pull this up. I want to talk about Napoleon Hill's basic fears.
Yeah, there's 7.
Yeah.
I think they're in here too.
Probably.
Ill
Okay.
health, old age, death, loss of love.
And then let's talk about our biggest fears. Because once you confront your fears, you're going to make a decision based on that. And when you get very intimate with your fears, you can move away from it. Mm-hmm. Too many times people, because they fear the concept of fear, they do not even confront it. So you see, in order for us to move you in the direction to whatever that next place is going to be, we got to help you to confront your fears. Otherwise, you're going to stay in your comfort zone. And your comfort zone is like a flat line. And what happens to a flat line? Eventually it goes down. This is like literally, if you think about, the United States of America, the greatest country on earth. Okay. Like, how do most people live their lives? Comfortable. In their 40s, they start to get sick, and then they start to get more sick, and then they start to get more debilitated and more divorce and less money. And the end of life is scary, right? Does it have to be this way? But again, it's lack of knowledge. It is lack of proper education. It is lack of confronting fears. Because when there's an opportunity coming your way that requires you, okay, you want to go from here to here, and you're going to have to either sacrifice, give up, put this thing on the line, and you're going to have to face temporary discomfort for the sake of a long-term gain. What are you going to choose? Because most people don't know how to think. They think based of their current emotion versus
right now.
Right. Versus the logical decision in the future. This is why, as our country is becoming more overweight, our country is also becoming stupider, because how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So if people are making decisions based on how things feel in the moment, of course they're going to go to McDonald's. Of course their thinking is going to be distorted. Of course they're going to think in terms of, oh, okay, like let's live in our comfort zone. So are they going to put themselves on the line in order to improve their health, in order to improve the shape of their family, in order to improve their relationships? No, because that's going to be uncomfortable.
I attribute a lot of that increasing, for lack of better term, stupidity, to all of the conveniences that we have too, all the things doing things for us and us not being empowered and able to do a lot of things for ourselves, and instant gratification, right? Our society has a ton of instant gratification, order something, click of a button, it's at your door tomorrow. Fast food, we get the food to you in 60 seconds or it's free. There's a lot of instant gratification. And, one thing that I saw a lot of what are you guys afraid of is letting somebody down. Okay. I had this conversation very recently. Do you want to scroll through that?
Yeah, I had this. That Lori Gal is here too.
I know.
Good to see you.
But I saw a minimum of 3 times. I saw letting somebody down. I fear letting somebody down. Now, I had this conversation very recently with somebody, and so this might feel like a little snap of a rubber band on your arm if this is just a real life conversation with you. Now, you don't want to let somebody down. You're afraid of letting somebody down. I want you to think to yourself, who are you afraid of letting down? Who are you afraid of letting down? Maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's kids, maybe it's coworkers, your boss, whatever. Who are you afraid of letting down? I actually would like to see in the comments, like, who is it that you're afraid of letting down? And I want you to think about how Sarit always says, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And if you have a fear in your life of something that will affect somebody else, it's showing up already somewhere in your life. It's already present somewhere. Okay. Okay. Well, you guys are on the right track. I see a lot of myself because the conversation I had with her, she said, okay, Lori said, my kids, myself and my girls, myself and my kids, my husband, my kids, my mom, my family, my coworkers. Look, you're afraid of letting somebody else down, but you are a somebody. And if you are already letting yourself down, if you're letting yourself down currently by not living to whatever current potential you have, you're already letting them all down as it is. Because you don't have the best of you to bring to them. You're already letting them down.
Yeah.
Doesn't make you a bad person. And I'm not saying this as though I'm perfect. It's just a real life conversation, and a conversation I would honestly have with myself. Aaron, if you're falling short somewhere, you're not able to give to the people that you want to give to the best that you can. Step up. If you say that you don't want to take, it's like the concept of feeling selfish for taking time to take care of yourself. If you don't, you're also, again, you're letting everybody else down. Because you're not bringing them the best version of you. You're not bringing them the highest version of yourself. It's like giving a gift that you've found trashed on the street. Here you go. I got you a gift. It's like you pulled weeds out of somebody's yard to go give to your spouse. Look, I got you some flowers. Like, you wouldn't do that. Maybe you would, I don't know, but most people wouldn't, because they're like, I want somebody that I love, I want to give them the best of the best. So give them the best of the best of you by taking time to take care of you, by talking kind to yourself, by respecting yourself through the food that you eat, the information you put through your ears and through your eyes, which I don't know, I'm biased, but I think this is great information for you to be doing that with. So congratulations. But the point is, if we are falling short and letting ourselves down, we are letting other people down already.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about the 7 basic fears. And let's just have a real conversation about, like, what is it that we fear the most? And yes, like, if you're letting yourself down, you're letting everybody who's surrounded by you down. Because if you're surrounded by people, you are leading them to some degree. And how you lead yourself is how you lead others. You cannot lead, John Maxwell talks about the law of the lid. You can never lead someone higher than you. So, whenever you want to be better for others, you have to be better for you first, because how you treat yourself will be like how you treat them. And a lot of times we don't realize how much better we can treat others until we learn to treat ourselves better. Because when we show up half-assed for a life, all we're giving everybody is the half-assed version of ourselves. So, 7 basic fears. Okay. And let's acknowledge, like, what is landing for you? Like, which fear is the most, out of these, is the most debilitating for you? Let's confront it. Okay. So there's fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of ill health, fear of loss of love, fear of old age, fear of death, and fear of loss of liberty. Which one is it for you? I'll tell you guys something. For some of you guys know my story. What made me see the other version of me was when I had to really confront very closely the fear of ill health. And also the fear of loss of love. When my dad, who didn't know how to take care of himself, suddenly at the age of 52, and also loss of liberty, dropped down and had a heart attack. I realized how short life is. I realized how the person who I saw as the most invincible person is actually not invincible. I saw how temporary life is. I got very intimate with those fears. And it made me ask myself the most important question of my life. That was like literally the pivoting point. Until then, I was stuck in my own comfortable ways, if I'm being honest. Just living, like going through like just average problems, from like this diet program to that diet program to this thing to that thing, right? Like my problems were too small. And now I was confronted with something that was so much bigger that made me step up for myself and made me step up for my family so that I could step up for many more. Right? And that's when I told myself that I had to change my ways, because what was doing was obviously not working. And I was on the line to lead in that direction as well. You see, until you confront your fears, it is a lot more comfortable to stay comfortable. This is why most people don't change. And this is why if somebody ever tells you, oh, you've changed, say thank you, because I have worked on creating change by design. You see, change either happens to us or we create change. Do you want change to happen to you, or do you want to create change? I don't live your life. I can't speak for yourself, but I know that I don't want change to happen to me. I want to create change faster than the change that is happening to me. Change is going to happen to us whether we like it or not. Technologies are going to shift. One social media platform that was here 10 years ago is not going to be here tomorrow, right? We're all getting older, whether we like it or not. Biologically, our telomeres are shortening, right? However, I can create change that is more rapid than the change that is acting upon me. So we have to ask ourselves, which kind of way do we want to live? Because our metabolism is going to slow down anyways. Because of that, are we going to say, oh, well, just because I'm 40 now and my metabolism is slower, I'm going to stop trying? No, well, you're just going to make the change that is already happening even faster. Or you can be the creator and make it a point to create a shift that is faster than the change that is happening upon you, so you can build more muscle so that you can turn yourself into a machine as early as possible, so that as change is happening, it is happening at a slower rate. We are designed to live at 100 to 107 years old without medications, right? Just because we're in a compromised situation, we can either act as victims or victors. See, victims let change happen to them. Victors create the change that they want to create. But if you create the change that you want to create, you have to know that it's not going to be comfortable. And that's why most people do not get themselves to a point where they're victors. And that is exactly why we continue to, provide for you and to give you this powerful information. Because if you want to be the victor, you're going to have to do things differently. And you have to get yourself around the right information repeatedly, because our current thought patterns are based on everything that we've heard over the last, I don't know how old you are, maybe you're 35, maybe you're 45, maybe you're 55, right? However long you've been exposed to this information is a small snippet of how much trash information you've been exposed to your entire life. And you see, that information is the information that is currently running your life. And this is why all of us, right, need to continuously expose ourselves to quality information so that we can make decisions that are logical.
Is this quality information for you guys? Drop a Q. Quality. C-U-A-Q-U-R.
In boogie language.
Okay, I was thinking about this.
Let's talk about the fears afterwards. I don't know if you guys
comfortable. Hold on. Comfortable is a funny thing. Quality with a Q.
Okay, I'm glad you were liking it.
Okay, amazing. Look, comfortable. I'm sitting over here like comfortable is a very funny thing. So I'm going to ask you to get honest and vulnerable, and you don't have to put anything in the comments. You can just do this with yourself. But
put it in the comments. Get outside your comfort zone.
but what is uncomfortable currently with where you're at with your body? Like, what's uncomfortable for you? Like, do you have extreme joint pain because, you have a lot of extra weight on your body and so it's tough? Do you just feel extremely insecure because you used to be like athletic and you gained 50 pounds? Like just whatever it is. There's no judgment here. Just what is it that you do not feel comfortable about right now with you? Okay, menopause, middle.
Can I ask another question on top of that?
Hate the stomach overhang. That's for sure. I love just the rawness of it, right?
Can I ask a question on top of that?
Maybe.
How uncomfortable are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 10.
Oh, that's a good question.
10 meaning like I'm so incredibly uncomfortable, like get me out of here. 5 being I'm uncomfortable, but I'm uncomfortable.
Okay.
I'm comfortably uncomfortable versus 1. I'm extremely comfortable. Like, where would you say you're at? Because you see, when you get intimate with...
Before you go too far in that, you said, can I ask a question? Not can I preach? So you asked your question. Okay. I'm going somewhere with this. Okay. I'm talking about how comfort is a funny thing. So I see like self-conscious, hate the way I look and can't do many things, loose skin due to weight loss, how my body looks fat back and pudge in my belly, insecure with fat roll. Dude, I love how honest and real you guys are. Thighs. We've got 8, 9, ankle pain, joint pain, huge tummy, the way my clothes fit. I'm a 10, discomfort. I'm not fit like I used to be. My belly hangs over my belt and squishy hips. I should use that in an ad. I feel like that's how I felt too. 7, 8. Okay. 10. I'm miserable, dude. Okay. Listen, now on a scale of 1 to 10, to go back to Sarit's question, how uncomfortable is it for you to make the changes that you need to make in order to move away from that place that you just described?
Nice.
How uncomfortable is it? 10, 8, 7, 5? How uncomfortable is it to move away from that with what you have to do with, moving your body more, getting workouts in, saying no to certain things? How uncomfortable is it?
Do you want to tell them why you asked them that? This is really good.
I will. I see a 5, I see an 8, I see a 5, I see a 6. And as you guys are putting your numbers in here, I want you to consider, is that number higher or lower than how uncomfortable you are in where you're currently at? Because
what was the question that you asked?
Because as you can clearly see, I see 5, 3, 7, 5, 6, lower, higher. Okay, I see a 6. Thanks for your honesty. There's no wrong answer. Okay, here's the deal. Do you notice that there's discomfort on both ends? It's uncomfortable to be where you're at, very clearly. You said it. And it's uncomfortable to do what you need to do to move away from that. So what kind of uncomfortable is better for you in the long run? And how will the level of discomfort that you're in currently change if you don't step into the discomfort that moves you away from it? This is logic. This is no emotion attached, 100% pure logic. We have discomfort on both ends. If you don't do anything, likely that level of discomfort gets greater. And
change is going to happen to you.
And if you do something that's uncomfortable to move away from this spot, your level of discomfort will likely get less, but it will never go away completely. Because as you get more fit, as you are more empowered, as you believe in yourself more, as you start to see changes happening in your body, you start to understand the things necessary for somebody to maintain a fit lifestyle. Do you think my workout was comfortable this morning? Fuck no. It was heavy. It was hard. It was uncomfortable. The comfort never shows up. You have moments of comfort. Sure, if I get a cozy blankie and a cup of coffee and a book, I'm comfy in a moment. But life in general is never completely comfortable. It doesn't matter what end you're on. So you might as well experience the discomfort that gets you a longer life, a happier life, a more fulfilling life, where you fucking love yourself and you're excited to wake up to your life in the morning. Ah!
And I will tell you,
I hope this moves somebody.
Out of the two questions, which number was higher? Was it the number of your level of discomfort or the level of the discomfort of change? Because whichever number is higher, that is going to be the number that is going to run your mode of operations. You will make your decisions based on that. So, if you feel more uncomfortable creating a change than you are being uncomfortable, then you're not going to create the change. This is why most people end up coasting their way through life, right? Because, stepping outside of their comfort zone when they're not attached to their fears is just like, it wouldn't make sense for them to confront it. Meanwhile, if you are confronting your fears and that level of discomfort is higher, you're a lot more likely to create the change. I believe that this is what discipline is all about. It's about knowing yourself, and it's about confronting your fears and asking yourself, what are you more uncomfortable with? Saying no to this thing and potentially disappointing someone, or, cutting your life shorter?
I could literally read something else right now. I won't read it, but I'll give you the gist of it. The most successful people choose discomfort on purpose.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. The people who you look at and you admire or you aspire to be like, for many of you, like as humbly as I can say this, for many of you, that was us before you came into this community. Something about us attracted you, whether it's our energy, our level of fitness, or probably my jokes, but something inspired you to come and be like, okay, I think I could try to learn from them. And then whatever that is, whether it's Tony Robbins or Brene Brown or whoever, like whatever person, maybe it's a parent you really looked up to, like really inspired by. If somebody in their life genuinely has great relationships, they're good with their money, they are healthy and fit, they seem really happy, like genuinely, that person puts themselves in moments of discomfort on purpose regularly. This morning, I went into our pool. So every morning, Sarit's been taking a cold shower. And last night I put my feet in the pool before I went in the hot tub, and I was like, oh, that is pretty cold. Maybe I'll go in here in the morning. And this morning I went in our pool butt naked. Yeah, it's pretty freeing. It's very liberating. And I just sat there for 3 minutes like this. It's not a heated pool, by the way. And granted, it's not like 30 degrees where we live, but it's probably like around 50 something degrees. So it's pretty cold when you first wake up in the morning. Anywho, those people take themselves through moments of discomfort on purpose regularly. Because when life is uncomfortable and you don't have a choice about it, you're so much better at dealing with it. You're so much better at navigating through that. And you're not intimidated by it. You're like, oh shit, well, this is what I trained for.
Yeah, but the truth is, because I want to make sure that you don't get distracted by a single act that Aaron talked about.
Yeah. There's an example.
And rather get intimate with your biggest fear. You know, I'll tell you, for me, so my two greatest fears in life have been two things. No, three things. And I believe that our greatest fears continuously change based on where we're at in life.
I have one major fear right now.
And I believe that that is based on I believe that our evolution of fears change because we have acted upon them and we've taken ourselves to a different place. So I'll tell you.
If you're afraid of riding a bike and then you ride a bike and you're successful at it, you're no longer afraid of riding a bike.
Right.
You're not afraid of the bike. You're afraid of falling and busting your knee open or something.
Right. And this is why I want to make sure that you don't get distracted by a shiny object of a cold shower, because that may, like, what do you need to confront?
Yeah.
Like, what is the thing that you really need to confront? So, you know, we talked about the 7 basic fears. I'll tell you, like, for me, my first biggest fear was fear of criticism. That's what made me want to lose weight in the first place. I was like, I'm sick and tired of being made fun of. I'm sick and tired of not being invited to shit. You know, like I felt ashamed, I felt low, and that's why I wanted to change my ways when I was 12 years old, right? And then I don't know what it was, you know, when we visited the United States, I was like, this is the greatest country on earth. There was we came here to visit, and I was like, wow, literally a 7-Eleven has more in a supermarket than I would see in most places. Like, you realize how people think here. Like, the roads look amazing and clean, and the lanes are so big, you know, and for some reason I was so attracted to that. I'm like, I don't know how, someday, some way I'm going to find a way to, you know, like live in this country. And then I came here to go to college. Sacrificed a lot of things. And my biggest fear then was loss of liberty, because I wanted to live the American way. And you see, I believe that unless you've been an immigrant, you will never truly appreciate the value of this country, because like when you do it the right way, the amount of things, the amount of fears that you have to confront, and the amount of pain that you have to tolerate in multiple avenues over an elongated period of time is just like, it's a test of how bad do you want it and what is greater. You know, the discomfort of feeling like you're never good enough by the government, by multiple people, and having to prove them time and time and time again. Or, you know, not having the freedom to create the life that you know you want to live in. You see, like when you were born in a country that provides you the freedom to do everything, and you can literally drive 5 minutes down the street, and, you know, like you go to a grocery store where you can find vegetables, where you can find meat, where you can find, I'm just talking about basic necessities. Like if your special super creamer is not there, you get pissed. But in most countries, it's like there are certain days out of the week where like they don't even have milk. You know, so it's like a completely, you know, when you're so clear on your fears, it's easy to, you know, like put yourself through these difficult things. And, you know, through that process, you know, with my dad's heart attack, I had to confront a different fear of ill health. And that's what made me change my ways, because I'm like, forget about it if somebody doesn't like me. I want to live so that I can pursue my freedom, right? Mm-hmm. So like when you continuously confront your fears always shift, right? And that is the value of you becoming intimate with your fears. Yeah, you wanted to share something.
I was thinking I have one major fear that like is prevalent to me in this moment of my life, but that's not the fear. Like if you think about what you're afraid of, what's the underlying thing that you're afraid of? So like originally I gave the example of riding a bike. You're afraid to ride a bike, but it's not the riding a bike. The riding a bike is the action. You're afraid of what will happen if you take the action. So you're afraid I'm going to fall and I'm going to bust my knee. I'm going to fall and I'm going to have a scab and it's going to hurt. So I'm going to endure pain. So, you know, the one thing for me, and I'm going to share this just so that I can dissect it for you. Cause I think a lot of times we're not going to go straight into like, oh, I'm afraid of living in poverty or afraid of a loss of love or old age or something like that, liberty, right? But whatever you are afraid of, there's one of these 7 things or more of them is underlying. So I'll tell you this, I'm afraid of being pregnant. Okay. I really want to have a baby, but I'm afraid of being pregnant. But I'm not afraid of being pregnant. You get it? So I started writing down, what is it about being pregnant that I'm afraid of? So I'm over here scribbling. Okay, having a baby. Okay, taking care of it, keeping it alive. My priorities changing. My body changing. Me not knowing how it's going to change. Not knowing how finances will change. Not knowing fear of not being able to have enough time to, or fear of not knowing how to manage my time to really watch that child grow up and give them everything. So what are the underlying fears of these 7 things? It's loss of love, it's liberty, it's criticism, it's like, what are the underlying things? It's not the thing. It's whatever you think is going to happen by taking the action. If I get pregnant, then this. If this, I'm scared of this. You see what I mean? I'll do it anyways because life's too short to say what if.
I'll tell you, for me, still, it's loss of liberty. Like not pursuing my potential and pursuing a life of freedom is my biggest fear. And this is why, like, making risky decisions, it's kind of like a no-brainer for me. Because for me, if I know that I have an opportunity to get ahead, I would rather go through the discomfort of getting ahead than coasting comfortably and not getting ahead. You see what I mean? So, you know, we all have our fair share of fears. There's no person that does not have a fear. It just, what is your current relationship with fear? Most people, when there is a fear, they compartmentalize it until one day they confront it in an uncomfortable way because they were not prepared for it. Now, you see, when you continuously confront your fears, you can turn your decisions into logical decisions rather than emotional decisions. And 97% of human error is based on making a decision based on emotion because you were scared, because it wasn't comfortable. It ain't about that. It's about what is the right decision to make. See, whatever that next cut is for you, there's something that's on the line. There's something that you've got to do that will make you uncomfortable to some degree. And whether you choose to do it or not has everything to do with what is more uncomfortable for you. Staying where you're at or going to that next place. And, you know, your intimacy with it will dictate whichever decision you make. Are you going to rear to the right or are you going to rear to the left? There's no right or wrong. It's just a matter of, hopefully, more often than not, you're making the decisions that is going to move you in the right direction rather than keeping you where you are.
It's just a matter of fear is fine. Fear is an emotion. Fear is, it exists. You can't say I'll never be afraid. And I just put in there because you guys are like, oh, you can't wait for the perfect time. It's not that the fear will stop me. It's just, it exists, right? That's okay. It's okay to be afraid. You can still take action even though you're afraid. So that's the point of this, is the fear can't hold you back. I keep seeing Mel Herbie talk about the dentist. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? And to be honest, you guys, if you're afraid of death, then you're dead already. Who cares?
Death is going to happen no matter what.
You're gone. Why does it matter? You don't even know.
What is it that you need to do in order to feel most alive? So by the time you're dead, you're like, you know what? God, like, you squeezed all the juice out of me. I'm at peace.
So yeah, anyways, I don't know.
Okay, so one more thing that I want to share with you, and then we want to share with you something super cool.
You're not afraid of injections. There's something else you're afraid of. What about the injections? Pain?
So
death? Okay, sorry. I'm trying to help her work through this.
So
this questions you got to ask yourself.
Yeah, so what I'm about to share with you is something that I want to share for anybody who fears death the most. So a study, Tammy Bell, we had a conversation about this. I see that you're here. A study was made about, what is the one thing that people on their deathbed regret the most? Or, yes. So I wanted to make sure that I'm stating it right. A study was shown, what was the biggest thing people on their deathbed regretted the most? And that was the things that they didn't do, that they know they should have done. And I'll tell you, life is about living. It's not about regretting. And by the end of the day, we're only going to regret the chances we didn't take. And if we don't take chances, it's because we don't know how to confront our fears. So what do? Again, it's like coasting through life. It's like living your life. It's like, let's say if you had a scale of 0, 5, and 10. 5 is comfortable. 10 is like the highest of highs, dreams. 0 is the lowest of lows. Because most people, right, were born at a 5. Going to a 3 might seem too much. However, if you do not take the chances of going to a 3 or a 2, you're not going to take yourself to a 7. If you're not going to face the 1, you're not going to take yourself to a 9. That's what people don't realize. Man, I feel like there's a law of nature. Oh, for every action, there's a reaction. I don't know what is that law of nature, right? But it's like, if you
Newton's
have
law?
if you are
equal or opposite reaction,
maybe. So, like, let's say if you're coasting at a 5, right? Like, if you are making a conscious decision to, for a period of time, maybe take yourself to a 3 because you're confronting some level of discomfort, the chances of you actually taking yourself to a 7 is a lot higher. Okay, now there's varying degrees to that. Obviously, like if you've never confronted a fear, you taking yourself to a 0 is going to feel completely debilitating. But this is why you want this. We're talking about this so that you expose yourself to your fears, because to the degree that you expose yourself to your fears, you're actually able to move by them in a logical way that will actually move you to that place that you want to go. Isn't that an interesting thing?
I don't know if 0 is really a thing.
Man, I feel like in this country, like, even if you wanted to take yourself to a 0, like,
it just, here's the deal. Fear is what it is.
Right.
The only way you have power over fear is if you just recognize it, that it is an emotion and not handcuffs. You can still take action. But if it paralyzes you, you're a victim, right? You've got handcuffs on. You cannot do anything. You are captive. So recognize the fear. It's not the guard to a jail cell. It is just an emotion that says, hey, is this okay? Like, hello, like the yellow warning. The stop sign is a stop sign. The yellow triangle is a, hey, be aware. Check it out first.
That's right.
It doesn't mean you have to stop. You can't proceed. So just recognize it as that. Fear is that. Okay, I'm afraid. Of what? What am I afraid of? If I do it, what's going to happen? Is it worth it? Okay.
So I want you to write down AFA. I want to talk to you about the AFA method real quick.
AFA.
And the AFA method is how you basically overcome your fears. AFA method. And that's what today's challenge is going to be about.
Okay, lay it on me. A is.
So A stands for acknowledge. Accept. Sorry.
Girl.
Accept it. Accept, acknowledge. It's like the same thing. So what is the thing that you're fearing in this moment? Okay. And I don't know why I said AFA. It's ATA. It's Friday, whatever.
Words, letters. I don't know.
The second thing is take action. No, talk about it.
What are you doing? Okay, you've no paycheck for you. Okay. A-T.
This is so embarrassing.
A-T-T.
What made me write
How do you
this?
say AFA? It's ATT. Accept it, talk about it, take action about it.
See, hey, you know what? It is what it is. ATT.
W-O-O-D. Boom.
ATT. AT&T.
Who wants us to bring another little Atwood into the world? Okay, anyways, this is way, way, way off the topic, guys.
So the first thing that you want to do is you accept it. Okay. The second thing that you do is you talk about it. And the third thing that you do is you take action.
Final answer, Becky. Final answer.
Final answer.
Oh, man.
Okay. So here's the deal. For the next 24 hours, you are gonna get outside of your comfort zone. We've already accepted, confronted what that thing is. We talked about it. The next thing that you got to do is you got to be about it. So what is that thing that you've been probably procrastinating on? If you're being honest, you're going to take action on that. Beyond that, I want to know, on a scale of 1 to 6, where are you guys currently at in building your confidence since we started? Every single day, you get an opportunity to earn 3 points. 3 points. Point number 1 is the daily challenge. Point number 2 is watching this, watching us make fun of ourselves sometimes. And then point number 3 is, remember, we're stretching you in multiple ways, like a rubber band. Okay, because what happens to your hair tie? Like the first time that you try to tie your hair when your hair tie is fresh, you're like, dude, I can barely like put my hair around like under like, I don't know how you call it, like 2 spins or whatever. But then after 3 days, you're like, oh yeah, finally I can stretch it to the 3rd level or like to the 3rd wraparound.
I know what you mean.
And then after a month, you're like, dude, the 3rd wraparound is too loose, right?
I never go past 3.
So you either try to like stretch it to 4, sometimes you break it, or you get yourself a new one. And you know, this is what life is all about too. It's like stretching yourself like a rubber band, right? Like stretch, stretch, stretch. So over these 8 days, we're stretching you guys in multiple ways. And now I want to share with you something, because some of you, you know that perhaps fear of ill health, perhaps fear of death is your greatest fear.
Loss of liberty.
Loss of liberty, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual freedom, whatever form of liberty you're talking about. We want to help you with that. And many of you guys have already heard about the Raw Transformation Program. Now, you may or may not know this. The Raw.
Who's done the Raw, by the way? Put it in the comments.
Yeah, if you've done the Raw, go ahead and drop a Raw. So we've transitioned, you guys. The Raw Transformation Program has transitioned, and it is now called the Rocking Body Transformation Program.
Surprise!
Because we wanted to, a bunch of you guys have done it, because we wanted to add new elements to it so that we can continuously improve the program. And also, we wanted to create it in a format that can allow more people's lives to be transformed. So the Rocking Body Transformation Program is now a thing, and it is live, and there's over, I think, 100 people in it. And we want to invite you. If you know that your next cut has anything to do with your weight loss, with your body transformation, with your health, with increased longevity, then we want to not just invite you, but, for you doing this challenge, we want to hook you up with a couple extra things that we truly believe are going to help you to take your health, your body transformation, and your life to the next level.
Let me just show you this really quick. For those of you who've already done a Raw, that's amazing. For those of you who have no idea what we're even talking about, welcome. It's an incredible program that we did live 14 times. We put it in a format where somebody can sign up and do it at any time throughout the year. 365 days a year, you can enroll, and you can do it whenever you're ready. And it's on demand. So you don't have to just watch a video at one specific time when we're doing it. And our whole team of coaches is still in there live. We've transitioned platforms, so it's not split between one platform and Facebook. The whole group community in that program and all of the content and the material is all on the same platform. It's super amazing. The people who are in there are really enjoying it. But the Raw essentially is, or now the Rock and Body Transformation is ultimately an 8-step transformation system that will simplify. It will help you create structure and plan and master healthy habits. No matter what your schedule is, no matter what time of the year it is, you do have a private onboarding session with an ES coach, one of our coaches live.
So yeah, for anybody who has done the Raw before, that was not a thing that we had before. We want to onboard you to the platform, show you where everything is at, and really help you to set yourself up for success between when you enroll and when you start the program.
There are 8 weekly coaching sessions with me and Sarit. All of those videos have been completely redone. Nobody has seen them unless you are currently in there going through it right now. There are live weekly Q&As still with the ES coaches. There's 8 weekly content practices. So to help you actually implement what the theme is for that week, and to help guide you through how to do that so that it works for your life. It's not a cookie cutter type of program. There's daily bite-sized action steps that you get delivered to you that are very short. So they're easy to consume, like little mini podcasts. We call them pocket coaching. Nutritional guidance and tools to improve your nutrition in a way that fits your lifestyle again. And then the amazing, amazing community that really makes, I don't want to say the community's half the battle, but the community is like the accountability, the knowing that people understand you. They're not going to criticize you. They're going to embrace you. They're going to support you and encourage you, and they just get it.
Yeah.
Where not everybody in your family is going to get it. Somebody in your family, oh, you're trying this. Oh, you're trying another thing.
Oh, you're changing.
or yeah, like, oh, you're training, or why do you have to eat so healthy? Or, you know, like they want to be supportive, but because it doesn't support what they want, it's hard for them to be supportive in the same way the community can be supportive. So it really is a phenomenal tool.
Yeah. And we've also, one of the reasons why we have transitioned to that model, just so you guys know too, is because, you know, in the past, what we've seen is, you know, like some of you are trying to create boundaries with regards to social media. So you now get the community without the social media. And that is the beautiful thing about it. It is super private.
It is social,
Yes.
but it's not everyone everywhere, like Facebook.
Yeah.
It's just your people in that group.
Yeah.
In our community.
Yeah.
And what we want to do for you guys too, if you are wanting to jump in on that, this other page right here, we're going to give you guys some bonuses. We've added some other elements to this, which is really cool. So the first bonus is 2 weeks complimentary access to the platform. So you're going to get an additional 2 weeks. So you actually get 10 weeks on the platform for an 8-week program, in case it takes you a couple days for your onboarding call to happen, or in case you slip, you know, for a week or a few days, you still have access to complete the program with a little bit of, you know, room for error, room to be human, buffer space. The second bonus is 2 months complimentary to the Fitscription. This does not come with this program. And so this is our platform that has every single workout program that exists in our ecosystem that you can choose from. So if you're injured, there's something for you. If you want to be competitive, there's something for you. So anywhere in between, there's something for you. There's also bonus number 3, which is a complimentary entry to our 3-day live virtual event that we're going to be doing, which is kind of like a fast track, like an intensive that we're going to be doing for 3 days. And then bonus number 4 is 30-minute weekly calls in a group pod. So this is a brand new thing that we never did in the Raw before it changed to Rock and Body, is we're going to have pods. And we only will offer a pod if people are coming in a group, which is you all, and we usually charge for it. So you're going to be getting that as a bonus. And what it is each week you have a 30-minute Zoom call with your ES coach, in a maximum group of 8 people. So it's not going to go above 8 people. It might be a little bit less than 8 people, but you have a pod, you have connection with an even smaller group of people that are doing the Rock and Body. And so, you know, accountability and connection and support just gets even tighter in that group. So those are the things that we wanted to offer you guys. I'm going to drop a link in the chat that you can go to.
And I want to share with you, you know, why we really want to make sure that we go out of our way to hook you up. It's because we really want you to win and we really need you to win. And I share this with you because you may have heard our mission statement once, twice, maybe 10 times. If you haven't already, I'll share it with you. It is to transform the lives of millions of people through the same movement, nutrition, and lifestyle habits that have transformed ours. And you see, a little over 10 years ago, you know, the darkest day of my life was the day that transformed my life. And that's the day when I got the call with my dad's heart attack. The most invincible person in my life, I realized, was so fragile. And in that moment, I realized how fragile life is. And when I had my come to Jesus moment, my real realization, you know, I told God, like, show me the way and I will help others to show them the way. And now listen, you've heard not too long ago that I am an immigrant. I believe that it is my duty and obligation as an American citizen to help this country to become healthier. And we're currently at a crisis. 42% of Americans are morbidly obese. 89% of Americans are considered to be sick. You guys, taking more medications is not going to be the thing that's going to help us. doing more diets is not the thing that's going to help us. The Rocking Body Transformation Program has already transformed thousands of lives. It is a proven model, and it is the model that will, I believe, truly help to provide physical and mental freedom to women in this country. And I'll tell you this. If you're a mom, if you're a woman, you are the leader in your life. Your family depends on you. Some of you guys, you know that your kids are your world. You needed to make it your duty and obligation to be the best version of yourself, the most badass version of yourself, because I'll tell you why. If the health crisis in this country has not already touched your family, it will. And we want to make it so much of a no-brainer for you because we need you to win, because this is not about us. This is about, Erin told you about her greatest fear. This is about what kind of life do we want to provide our kids when they're adults? Like what problems do we want them to face? Because you see, we are a byproduct of our environment. So, if everybody around us is morbidly obese, then everybody around us is going to be continuously debilitated and is going to procrastinate their way through life. Is this what you want for the next 20 years of your life? We're all going to die anyway. Is this what you want for your kids' lives? I don't know about you, but I know that I don't want it to be this way. Okay, so we want to make it such a no-brainer, and I want to do something.
I don't know what she's going to do right now, but the look on her face where she's like, I haven't talked to you about this yet.
I haven't. I feel called to do this thing because I want to, some of you guys, you might know that is the thing that you want and need to do, but there might be another fear that you might be scared to confront. And I want to help you to confront that fear by giving you safety. That especially with the new pods, with this new structure, 30 days, you don't see any progress, we give you your money back. I don't want your money if I'm not transforming your life. I need you to win.
Look, here's the other thing, is when we offer you your money back, we're accountable.
Yeah.
We are accountable. This is us stepping into accountability. So if we're asking you to step into accountability, we're going to do the same thing. Hey, we are now accountable. If you're not seeing results that you're pleased with,
and however,
it's conditional.
And this is what's beautiful with this program. We can see if you're actually doing the work. Okay, because you can't just not do anything and say, I want my money back. It doesn't work that way. However, if we see that you have done the work,
you put in the effort.
I don't want your money if I'm not transforming your life.
But I'll guarantee you, if you do the work, you will see results.
Right.
I guarantee 110%. So I really like that. I really like that.
Thanks. I just felt
and
called to do it.
That's only going to be for you guys that are here.
Yep.
And these bonuses are only going to last until next Friday. So 1 week from today.
Yeah.
1 week from today. This program, by the way, we're going to sell it at full price for $997 because that is truly what it is worth.
Can you actually go back real quick?
Anybody who's done the raw, I would like to know. I'm going to put us on the screen too, just so I can. Anybody who's done the raw, I would really like to know, is it worth $1,000?
So with the bonuses, it is $1,654. The pods, whoever joins the Rocking Body with the pod actually has to pay for it, $199. So just so you know. But you're literally getting, with all these bonuses, you're getting a value of $1,654 for $497. There's, I think, a 2-pay option, 2 times.
Yeah, $277.
$277. Right, and if in 30 days you do the work, you do not see results, we'll give you your money back. Because this ain't about us. You see, this is about what world do we want to create. You see, my biggest fear is not living up to my potential. My biggest fear is leaving the planet before knowing that I've helped 1 million people transform their lives and their families' lives. So I'm going to go relentlessly and put my entire life on the line and do whatever it takes. I want you guys to win. I need you guys to win. Your kids want you to win.
I just want to appreciate all of you guys who are chiming in, who have done it. And especially this is really powerful. It works. It works because I've been out of the community for months and I've not regained any weight.
Wow.
And my mental aspects are still changing. You two changed my life. It's really like,
So
I'm
good.
not going to cry. It's really our blessing, our privilege, our honor. And I don't know why we were chosen to be in the position that we are in, but I'm very grateful every single day for every ounce of trust that anybody has in us to invest your time, mostly, but also your money and your energy. So I really appreciate that. And I just want, I put in the comments, think about what your dream is. Like when you were a kid and you really believed anything was possible, like where you want to be at with your body and your health and your mind, surrounding your thoughts with your body, where do you want to be? What is your dream? And is what you're doing right now working? And if it is, great. I'll never tell you to do something I don't think that you need to do. If it's working and it's sustainable for you, fantastic. Keep doing it. But I hope you still keep coming because these are amazing. But if it's not working for you, don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till next Friday. Don't wait till Monday to take advantage of this opportunity. Just literally what I read today is like, when you know, jump, go, do it. Take action. Don't wait, because the longer you wait, the more doubt and fear you have. They accumulate and then you crush the chances that you have of getting to where you want to be.
You guys, I want you to know that we see you. We see all of your comments, and they're all so beautiful. And it's been such a privilege and an honor, a duty and an obligation to be able to serve you. And we appreciate your gratitude back. And, we believe in you. And we want to do everything that we can in our power to continuously help you to rise up so that you can pursue the best version of yourself. And we're heading into the weekend. So just so you know what to expect going into the weekend, I'm going to share with you the challenge again in just a second to make sure that you're clear. Tomorrow's challenge and Sunday's challenge are going to be done through Pocket Coaching and through email. Okay, through Pocket Coaching and through email. Can we drop, if you are not already in our Pocket Coaching, we need you to join it so that you can hear what tomorrow's challenge is all about.
The other thing that I want to say is,
and also if you have not, sorry, you go first.
It's like when you have a thought in your mind, you just go.
Yeah.
If you have done the raw transformation and you're just kind of floating around right now, don't think that you can't do the rock and body because, I already did the raw and the principles and concepts are the same. You've never seen those videos before. You've never used that platform before for that program, and you've never experienced the pods.
Right.
So if you're floating around, if you're kind of in Mundaneville, mishmash land, I don't even know what that means. I just made it up. Then also I'm talking to you. Jump into it.
Mm-hmm.
Jump into it. Okay. So you can text Pocket, put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. coach.
And then, can I just share today's challenge?
Absolutely.
Okay, so today's challenge is you're gonna confront one of your fears. The fear that you know you've been procrastinating on, that has been holding you back from taking yourself to whatever that next cut is for you. We don't know what it is. You're gonna confront it in the sense that you're gonna take action. Okay, so, like if you fear water today, you're gonna jump in the pool. Just jump in a pool where you can, stand on or have somebody hold you or something like that. You know what I mean? The second thing that you're gonna do, remember, over the entire 8 days, we're gonna complete a marathon. So today you get to do when I say today, I mean between now and the next 24 hours, you're going to complete 3.3 miles. Your 8th cumulative chunk of that marathon you're going to complete today. You can either walk it, you can run it, you can crawl it, whatever you got to do, figure it out. You can break it up into, 3 sets of 0.33 miles. Take your dog 10 times. It doesn't matter. Just get it done. With commitment comes creativity. And the third thing is you're gonna watch the video. Now, since tomorrow the coaching is gonna be through Pocket Coaching, do know that one of tomorrow's targets is going to be to listen to the Pocket Coaching. So if you're not already subscribed to Pocket Coaching, you need to get on it, especially if you're, following through with this challenge all the way, because that is going to be how you're gonna claim one of your points through the Pocket Coaching. Okay. And if you haven't signed up for this challenge, we want to make sure that you get the daily email. Okay, because we do a daily recap every single day, in the sense that, while you're listening to the Pocket Coaching, maybe you're out and about, getting your groceries done or whatever, and you're like, oh, well, I forget, just so that you don't have to listen to the entire thing over again. We're going to send you an email with what your daily action steps are. So, if you haven't already registered for this event, just go ahead and do so that you can get the emails. Do you want me to send it to you, or do you have that?
What am I putting?
The link to register to this event, just so that you guys can get the daily communication. Yeah, and you guys, that does it. Something that we always say is that greatness was not meant to be convenient. Most people are more concerned with convenience, and that's why they fall short on their quest for greatness. Now, if you know that you're up for greatness, we know that you're up for greatness because you're in the ES Army and we believe in you. Do something about it, okay? Like, confront your fears, because on the other side of fear, there is faith. And on the other side of your comfort zone is your greatness. And Erin dropped the link as well. If you have any other questions with regards to the Rocking Body Transformation Program, please go ahead and email support@emunastrength.com. Or if you want to learn more about, maybe you believe that there's another program that you need, maybe you need a little bit more personalization, then feel free to either send Erin or myself an email, Erin@erinandsarit.com or Sarit@erinandsarit.com. The inner circle might be a better fit for you. No matter what, we want to make sure that we're hooking you up, that we're supporting you, and that we're helping you and your family thrive. Okay?
I don't know who Facebook user is, but can I get a Flex Friday? You have a sweatshirt on. It doesn't even... Can I get the lighting right? Oh. All right. You guys are amazing. Happy Flex Friday to you all. We'll catch you guys live on Monday, but via Pocket Coaching and email this weekend. All right. The challenge doesn't stop. It's just rearranging for a couple of days.
Yes.
See ya.
Bye, guys.